This video will cover configuring a button component and then adding links to other components such as the text editor and the text and image component. Let's get started by configuring a button on the page. Click the button once to produce the menu, then select the wrench. You may also double-click the button for the same result. For button text, enter a word or phrase that will give visitors to your site an idea of what they will see when they click the button. In the Link To field, we have several choices. First, you may link to an outside website. To do this, copy the external site's URL and then paste it into the Link To field. Click the checkmark to save. Alternatively, you may wish to link to another page within your site. In the Link To field, use the Search tool, a folder with a magnifying glass, to navigate to the desired page. Choose the parent directory LSA websites and then click through the site hierarchy to find the desired page. If you're in training right now, that means click the AEM training site, then AEM training. This directory represents the site homepage, and then continue until you locate the page you'd like to link to. If you're working on your own site, choose LSA websites and then find your site in the directory instead of the training site, and then continue through your site hierarchy until you locate the page you'd like to link to. For this demonstration, which is on the training site, I'll choose grad students. Click the blue check mark to add the page to the Link To field. Click the check mark to save. Instead of linking to a web page or external site, you can also add a link to a file in your Digital Asset Manager, or DAM. For instance, a document in PDF format. If you're in training, we'll use files that are already in the DAM to save ourselves a little time. We'll cover the procedure for uploading files to the DAM a little bit later in this training. If you're working on your own site, please remember to add the files to your DAM before you go ahead with creating links to them. In the Link To field of the button, use the Search tool to navigate to your site's assets. If you're in training, we'll start at the parent directory labeled Assets, then AEM-train-assets, and then Documents. Locate the desired file and select it, then click the blue check mark to add the path to the Link To field. Click the check mark to save. The other items in the button component are intended to help you customize the look and feel of your site. Feel free to pause this video and try out some different combinations with your buttons. We know not everyone wants to use the button anytime they want to add a link to a page, so let's look at how to add links in text and links in images. Let's start with adding an external link to some text in the text editor component. Click the text and then select the pencil that appears. Highlight the text you wish to add a hyperlink to. Click the chain icon and then fill the path field the same way we covered when we talked about the button. Remember, in the text editor you can switch to full screen, which makes things easier to see and gives you the full suite of editing tools. When you've filled in the path field, click the blue check in the little link window, then exit full screen if necessary. Click the check in the editing bar for the component to finish saving your changes. Linking to an internal page within your website is virtually the same, except instead of pasting an HTTP link, you search your directory the way we did with the button component. In the text editor, the search tool is the little check mark to the right of the field labeled Path. Notice that when we found the grad students page this time, we had to click the checkbox left of the page title before we could click Select. You will find slight inconsistencies across AEM. That's part of its charm. Let's do this again with the text and image component. The procedure is nearly identical to the text component, except for some opening steps. Click the editing pencil and then select Insert or Edit Text from the drop-down. Then you'll see the text appear to duplicate. The italicized text is what you want to edit, but we recommend switching to full screen to eliminate any confusion. Highlight the desired text, add a link, save the link, exit full screen, save and close the component. Let's pause a moment and check our links. In the Page Information menu on the upper left, click to produce the drop-down menu and then select Show as Published. This way, you can check the links on your page without encountering any errors from AEM before you publish the page and go live. Now let's put a link in some text that opens a PDF from your DAM. For the text editor and the text and image component, this procedure is less work than it is for the button or most other components. Toggle your side panel open and locate the file you want to link to. Then open the text editor or text and image component in standard view and highlight the desired text. Do not select the link tool. Just drag and drop the thumbnail of the file over the highlighted text. Click to save and close. We have one more type of link to cover, and then we can take a break. Pretty much any component on the site follows these same link procedures, so if you're wondering about the For button, for instance, try experimenting with other components to see if you can set up links in them. We're going to add a link to an image in a text and image component. Open the component to configure it using the wrench. In this window there are three tabs: Image, Accessibility, and Style and Image Options. If you remember the tutorial for the text and image component, we did cover most of these fields in that section. Let's stay in the first tab, the Image tab, and put in our link. By now, we're experts. You may paste an external link, or search your site and create an internal link, or search your assets and create a link to a file in your DAM. In the field labeled Hover Text/Title for Link, please add some brief text that tells visitors to the site what to expect if they click the image. Then, as with all components containing an image, remember to add alt text in the Accessibility tab. Click the check to save and close. When you're ready for your site audience to see your updates, publish the page. Thanks for sticking with us for this tutorial. Technology Services is here to support you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email lsatechnologyservices@umich.edu.